Welcome back to another video in the wonderful world of ExpressPCB Plus as I understand it. Now in this video I will discuss how to change the size of your board. Previously I had said we'll talk about how to change the shape of your board, but I'm going to leave that for another video. Okay, here's the basic board. Now the easiest way to change the board size is to simply use the Select tool and click on the board edge and highlight the entire board outline like this. I can then come up to the ribbon to the size and position box, and over here it says width and height. And these two numbers define the size of your board. Now I can come up here and just click in there, do a Control A, and say we want our board to be 4.5 inches wide. I'll type in 4.5. I'll then come down here to height, click in there, do a Control A. And let's say we want our board to be 3 inches high. So I'll just type in 3, hit enter, and you'll notice the board has changed. I'll come down here and I'll do a 0, keyboard shortcut 0 to do a zoom extents. And there's our new board. And one thing to note is that our origin point stayed down here in the lower left corner. ExpressPCB built to the right when we added to the width, and it built to the top when we added to the height. Now I'm going to reset the board, stand by. Now one thing to remember is be sure you enter your new board dimensions into the width and height boxes, not this box that says right and has 3.800 in it, or this box that says Y and has 2.500 inches. Now these boxes define the location of the lines that make up the XY locations of your board. They do not define the board size per se. As an example of what I'm talking about, let me show you what happens if I enter 4.000 into the right box. I'll come up here, click in there, and do Control A. Oh, that's interesting. I'll do a Control A, and now I'm simply going to enter 4 in there. I'm not going to put in 4.00. As I've explained before, ExpressPCB will put all of that other stuff in there for you. So I just need to put in 4. Hit enter. And look what happened to my board outline. When I put 4 into the right box, it shifted the entire board to the right 0.2 of an inch. And you can tell that because our origin point in the lower left is now sitting there all by itself. So if you're going to change the board size with this method, always use the width and height boxes. We'll explain what all that X, Y, and right and bottom mean in another video. That's really delving into the intricacies of the program, and I'm going to leave that for another video. So I'm going to undo this. I'll do a Control Z. Okay, now this next method, this one can be a little bit trickier, and it's messed me up a couple of times, so I'll try and explain this the best I can. Now, this time we're going to go and grab a board edge. First of all, let me click here so that our board is not highlighted. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a board edge. We're going to grab this one and we're going to drag it out and make it 4 inches wide. So we're going to go over 2 grid points here, because remember each grid point is 0.1 inch. So make sure I have the Select tool selected, and I do. And I'm going to move my mouse to the right side of the board and click. Just like that. And you'll notice that my mouse cursor has turned into that box, and that box kind of has 4 arrows pointing in all sorts of different directions. Now, if I hold down my left mouse button again, I can grab just that edge, and I can move the edge out like that. Now, I can, if I want, count the snap points. I have 4 snap points per grid point, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. And you also notice I moved down a little bit. That's something you have to watch out for. Or I could have just gone, I know I need to move 2 grid points. I could have just gone, there's 1, there's 2. And now my board is 4 inches wide. And I can confirm that it's 4 inches wide in 2 ways. I can look at the end X up in the size and position box, or I can deselect the board, then come over, select the whole board again, and look at the width and height, and now you see the width is 4 inches. But there is a catch here. So let me undo what I just did. And that catch is this, and it's caught me a couple of times. Let me click there and deselect the board. Now I'm going to come over here and I am going to click on this board edge, but instead of releasing the left mouse button, I'm just going to hold it down. And watch what happens if I don't release that mouse button. I move the whole board. And if I release it now I get that funny little box with the 4 arrows. But you'll also notice that the whole board has moved away from the origin point. And sometimes when you're in a hurry, I'm going to do a Control Z. Sometimes when you're in a hurry and you want to move something quickly, you'll come over here, you'll grab it, and you won't release that mouse button, and you'll start dragging the board, and you realize, oh crap, I removed the whole board. So that's just something to remember. Let me undo it again. When you come over here and you want to move just a board edge, you click on it and release that left mouse button, and now you will move only that edge. And the other thing to remember, as I showed earlier, is as you're moving that, try not to move your mouse vertically if you're moving, say, one of the right or left hand edges, because all of a sudden your board will not be rectangular anymore. Okay, I'm going to put that back to where it was. Okay, and I think I mentioned this, but another way to tell where the end of your board is to look at that end X box. And as I move the board edge, you'll notice that the end X changes to tell you exactly how wide your board is. Now, of course, if I were moving the top here, I would look at the end Y box like that. And you can see how easy it is to go side to side and make your board not square anymore. So just remember, if you select that board edge and you do not release the left mouse button and then press it again to get that odd looking box cursor, you will not move the edge, but rather the whole board away from the origin point. And as I have shown here, I guess that is why Control Z is our friend. Now, the last way to change the board size is to click on the board, highlight it, and then go to a corner. So let me zoom out a little bit here. So I'll just come over here, I'll click on it, and say I want to move it again to the right. Come up here, grab the corner, and now I can move that point out like that. And I can move this point out like that. And the only thing you're getting up in the size and position box are X, Y numbers when I do this. See, if I move it, only the X is changing. And I'm going to explain why that is in another video. It's kind of important to know, and it will especially help us when we are designing custom components. Now, if I were changing the top, let me select it, and I came over here and I grabbed that point. Now, if I look in size and position, it's going to be the Y number that's changing. And again, I'll explain that in the next video. Well, not the next video, I'll explain that in another video. Now, this is probably my least favorite way to change the board size, as it is easy to get one edge of the board at a slight angle if you don't move both sides of the board edge to exactly the same snap point. And one thing I did not point out is if I select the board outline like this, I can see what the area of the board is in square inches up here in the size and position box. When I select the board like that, I get this box that says area, and right now it's telling me my board is 10 square inches. Now, when I click on a board edge to move it, like I just did, you'll notice up in the size and position box, I get a bunch of other boxes. This is telling you a lot of things about the lines that make up the board. So if you're interested in what right, bottom, end X, end Y, delta X, and delta Y mean, and how they relate to the lines in your board edge, I'm going to do a separate video on that. Now, you can watch this video or you don't have to watch it. I won't be insulted if you don't. And this information, it's not really necessary for using Express PCB Plus, but it does explain some of the details on how the program places things in the XY world of CAD. Okay, I'm going to put my drawing back to the original dimensions. Stand by. Okay, we're back to a board that's 3.8 inches wide and 2.5 inches high, and we have that pad that is in the exact center of the board. Now, let me show you what happens when you change the height and width of a board you are currently designing. And when I say currently designing, I mean you have components placed on the board itself. And now you've decided, oh, I need that board to be a little bit bigger or maybe a little bit smaller. So when I use the height and width boxes, my origin point will remain firmly attached to the lower left corner. So let me select the board again. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say I want this to be 4. I'll do a Control A to select everything. I'm going to put in 4. Come down here, and I want it to be 3 inches high again, so Control A, 3, and Enter. I'll hit 0 to zoom extents, and you'll note that the bottom of my board moved down, and the right edge of the board moved to the right. And as you can see, my origin point is still down in the lower left corner. But if you look at the pad has now moved up. That's because the bottom of the board moved down. Now, ExpressPCB appears to kind of not do what I would expect it to, which would be to add to the top of the board and keep my components referenced to the bottom origin point. And I can show this better by using a different board. So stand by and let me go grab that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change the size of this board, and we're going to make it 3 inches high. So I'm going to click on the outline. I'm going to come up here, click in the height box, Control A, enter 3, and hit enter. I'll do a 0, zoom extents, and now you'll notice it added to the bottom of the board, but all of my components stayed in the same location. Now, I don't know if I like this or not. I would think it would keep my components referenced to the origin point. Now, I can drag everything to the bottom if I want to, but to get everything back on the grid, I need to find a reference component. And my reference component this time is going to be this pad right here. Now, I know before I changed the height of the board that this pad was at an XY of 0.15 inches by 0.15 inches. So what I'll do here is I will select that pad. I'm going to do a Control A. That will select everything in my design except for the board edge. And I'm going to drag it down. And when I do that, I am going to look at the Move Over Element display down here at the bottom of the screen. And as you can see, it says my pad is at a X of 0.15 and a Y of 0.65. So I'm going to drag everything down until that Y is 0.15. So let me do that. And remember, it doesn't matter where my mouse cursor is. That Move Over element is displaying the center of the pad. So let me drag it down now. And there we go. Now I could also use the up-down arrows or the left-right arrows to move everything while it's highlighted like this, but it doesn't always seem to snap to my snap points. I find just grabbing everything and moving it and watching the move over elements is a lot easier than trying to use the up-down left-right arrows. Okay, let me reset that. And I can hear you saying, hey, that pad seems to be a reference point for all the other entities. Can't I just type 0.15 into the Y box and then everything would move there? And when I say the Y box, I'm talking about these two boxes here, X and Y. And those two boxes, ignore this other stuff right now. Those two boxes are telling me where the XY of this pad is. I'll deselect everything, come back here, select just that pad. If you look at the XY, it's telling you what we would expect. It's at an X of 0.15 and a Y of 0.65. Now, let me do a Control A, and I will come up here and I will type in 0.15 into that box. Oops, didn't do my Control A. 0.15. Now I'm going to hit enter. And yikes, this looks like something my cat's designed by committee. Now, why does it do this? I have absolutely no idea why it does that. So let me undo this little experiment. Okay, once you get all of your parts back to where you want them, then you can add more entities to, say, the top, bottom, left, or right. Now, like I said, I don't know if I like this where it adds to the bottom but doesn't keep your components referenced to your origin point. I would think that maybe an option to say add to the bottom or top of the board when I change the height would be nice. But whenever you're adding to the width, it's always going to move the right-hand side of the board to the right. Now, in this example, ExpressPCB used that pad in the lower left as a reference for the XY coordinates up here in the size and position boxes. ExpressPCB Plus seems to use the component you selected as the reference when you do a Control A. And let me show you what I mean. I'm going to deselect everything. Now I'm going to come up here and I am going to select the negative side of this capacitor. I'll click on it like that. Now, if I go look at the XY for this capacitor, it is telling me that it is at an X of 2.3 and a Y of 1.6. But if I look down at my mouse coordinates, my mouse is at a Y of 1.88, basically 1.8. I'm sorry, basically 1.9. If I move it up a little bit, it now says 1.9. When I select an item like this, ExpressPCB Point will give you the XY of the origin pad of the part. And the origin pad is the plusative pad. If I move my mouse up now and put it there, you'll see my mouse says 2.1. And that agrees with what it says up in the size and position box. But watch what happens if I come down here and now I grab the negative. If you look at the Y in the size and position box, when I start to move it, it jumps and tells you where the negative pad is. So now it's saying the negative pad is at 1.875. Now the same is true if I select the plusative terminal. Let me deselect it. If I come up here and select that, then do a Control A, then the XY boxes will follow wherever the plusative pad is, like that. By the way, please ignore the design quality or lack of quality in this example. It's a work in progress, and I have a feeling it will probably progress no further. Okay, I think that is enough about how to change the size of your board and some of the dangers and quirks of the program that you might run into. I hope this information helped, and if you have any questions, please send them to me, and I'll do my best to try and answer them and answer them coherently. So in the next video, we're going to look into changing the shape of your board, how to add points and move them around, and also how to put a notch into the board if you need a notch in your board for some reason. So we'll see you then.